Today we'll discuss how pattern blocks can relate to fractions. If you take this trapezoid, this equals 1 unit. How many green triangles fit in the red trapezoid? It takes 1, 2, 3. Now that would make a whole number. That would make one whole unit with those put together. If you removed one green triangle, that would be what fraction? 2/3, because one triangle represents 1/3. If you remove the last one, you'd only have 1/3 left. If you were going to use the hexagon, and we were going to see how many rhombus fit in the hexagon, which is also called a diamond sometimes, you would be able to fit 1, 2, and 3. But the same as the trapezoid, it has 3 shapes that would make the shape, and at this point it would be a whole unit. It would be a whole number. But if you removed 1, it would be 2/3, because 1 rhombus represents 1/3. If you removed another one, you'd be left with 1/3. Now, if you were going to take triangles, the green triangles, how many would it take to fill that? It would take 6, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would take 6 triangles to make up a whole hexagon. Now this one's different. It has 6 pieces. So 1 triangle represents 1/6. So if we removed 1 triangle, what would you have? 5/6. If you removed another triangle, you would have 4/6. If you removed another triangle, you would have 3/6. Now what about the next one? You'd have 2/6 left. And by the end, you'd only have 1/6 left. Now we're going back to our red trapezoids. How many red trapezoids fit in a hexagon? Let's try. There's 1, 2. Now this would be a hole. Now if we removed, so you see there's a hole, but if we removed 1 trapezoid, how much would be left? There would be 1/2 left. But when we remove the other one, there's none left. All we have left is our hexagon. So it only takes 2 trapezoids to make a hexagon. Now we're going to move on to our next shape, which is the rhombus that I said earlier can be called a diamond. So we're going to talk about it. How many triangles does it take to fit in a rhombus or a diamond? Well, let's see. 1, 2. So right now that's a hole. And if you take 1 away, you're going to have half, just like the trapezoid was with the hexagon. And if you take away the other, then you have your rhombus or diamond again. Now let's see if we can try a few problems. If you brought out your hexagon again, and you had 1, 2, 3 of these that was in the same shape as the hexagon, what fraction would be one piece of the blue? So if there are 3 pieces and we're only talking about one of them, that would represent 1/3. If we were only talking about the rhombus, and we wanted to know what the fraction of one green triangle was compared to the rhombus, what would that be? So if we take one away, that's 1/2 of the trapezoid. So, what about if we took a trapezoid if the trapezoid represented 3/8, because these were put together, then what would one triangle represent? 1/8. Now let's try something a little harder. If this trapezoid represented 3/8 and one triangle each equals 1/8, and let's say you had a triangle which equals 1/8 with a rhombus or diamond that equals 2/8. So if the red is 3/8, then what does the blue represent? Blue would represent the 2/8, which these would all make a whole of a trapezoid. Now, if we were only talking about the rhombus or diamond, and we had 2 triangles, and this rhombus represented 2/5, and and the triangle represented 1/5. They both represented 1/5 together. So if the blue represented 2/5, then what would one green represent? 1/5.